Medeama means my brother. It's an Nzima word. Medeama means my brother. You know, it speaks to you about camaraderie. We have made a point that we've now metamorphosed from just being the Premier League champions of Ghana into more or less as a national duty.
Hello and welcome to Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Joseph Adamafio, and today we're going to speak with Patrick Akoto of Medeama, because lately Medeama have been doing very well and representing Ghana on the continent. Well, we just finished watching the CAF Champions League draw, and I must say Patrick Akoto is really thrilled. Patrick, welcome to Sports Check.
It's good to be here, my brother.
We just finished watching the CAF Champions League draw, and you just saw for yourself the clubs that you'll be facing. Tell us your thoughts on that particular one.
Well, my initial comment is that this is a very tough group. We are playing against 11-time champions Al Ahly.
Yep.
We are playing again. We are going to Algeria.
Yep.
Twice in North Africa. Always a very difficult hunting ground. We are returning to Tanzania, where we managed to draw against young Africans in 2016. So it's quite a very tricky, but clearly a very tough draw. I mean, we are clearly the minnows in the group, and we will see how it goes.
But just before we get into it, let me remind our viewers that these are the teams that Medeama will be facing in the CAF Champions League group stages: Al Ahly of Egypt, Belouizdad of Algeria, Young Africans, popularly known as Yanga of Tanzania. Then we have Medeama SC of Ghana. Which team among these opponents have you faced in the past?
Yes, of course. I've just told you about Young Africans.
Yes.
In 2016, we drew in Dar es Salaam, and then we beat them here 3-1 at the Secondary Sports Stadium in 2016. So they are the only familiar foe within the group, but we are relishing an exciting contest against the giant Al Ahly. We can't wait for it, and against Belouizdad. So for now, it's quite interesting. We will see how it goes. I mean, December is just here, so we will see.
The tough question will be: will Medeama be able to sail out of the group?
It's early days yet. I mean, the initial target of the club was to have qualified to the group stage of the CAF Champions League, which clearly has been achieved. The next target is now to ensure that we do well. We want to water down the expectation of our people. We want to be cautiously optimistic. We want to be realistic as well, because we are playing against the juggernaut of African football, teams with a lot of financial war chest than us, and then teams with a lot of, facilities, resources that can engineer a resounding success for their respective teams. So we want to be really be cautiously optimistic. It's a very difficult group, no doubt about it, but we will have to navigate our way if we are to qualify to the knockout stages.
Okay, just so you know, I'm sure maybe you know this, but outside Al Ahly in your group, none of the teams have been able to win any of the CAF club competitions. Belouizdad, I'm just checking, have won the Algerian League 10 times.
Yes.
How are you going to approach this game? Is it going to be a win for?
Well, I mean, this is for the coaches to answer. I think that is more of a technical question. Perhaps when the time is approaching and we get Evans or Gesinadote, he will be able to lay down clearly his plans, strategies, and what he thinks can be done. But one of the things I know about football is that it's game specific. Dynamics can change. Anything can happen within a game. So yes, the clubs are huge. They are big clubs. They have pedigree. They have history. They have everything. But we are also Medeama.
In the game against Al Ahly, what would be your expectations? Of course, big game.
Well,
Ghana, Tunisia.
Alali Medeama is a game that I think that the Ghanaian people will be relishing. You know, it's been a while since Alali came to Ghana to play in the Africa Interclub competition. It's really been a while. They are a giant, the most successful club in the Africa Elite Interclub competition, the CAF Champions League. So clearly, they will always be overwhelming favorites, you know, in this particular group. That's a stark reality. They will always be the overwhelming favorites. But there are also upsets in football. There are also teams that can grind results when it matters most. We would need to take advantage of our home turf and ensure that we grind results. They've come here. Teams have beaten them here in Ghana. So it is doable. It is achievable. But then again, like I said, we want to be more realistic. We will give them a showdown.
You are promising a showdown for...
Well, we will have to. We have no choice but to try and give Alali a showdown. I mean.
But we all know the antics of the North African teams. Lately, they'll say they are the Cobras. Or maybe a Cobra. But when you are playing these North African teams, they mostly want to take advantage of their home turf. The fans are intimidating. The players often like to waste time in matches, especially when they are...
It is the more reason why we are very desperate to get the T&A ready for that particular, you know, games. We will need to create an atmosphere at the T&A Stadium. And because we want to do that, we want to create an atmosphere at the T&A Stadium. So we are very hopeful, we remain very hopeful that the contractors working on it, Gofield themselves who are funding this facility, they'll be able to finish in time, so it'll be handed over. Because if we don't play in Takwa, it means that we need to still stick with our good people in Cape Coast and continue playing. But the good people of Takwa are desirous of watching this team right in front of their own eyes at the T&A Stadium. Let's see how it goes. Whether we play in Takwa, whether we play in Cape Coast, we will need to grind out a results. We need to bring our A game to bear and ensure that we grind the results. It's as simple as ABC.
Many will say it's no longer Medeama anymore. It's like the whole Ghana should be behind Medeama so that we go out there and represent West Africa at large. Because aside maybe ASEC Mimosa, then we also have Medeama. Are you seeing this as a national call for you guys?
Absolutely, it's really a national call. It's really a national call. We have made a point that we've now metamorphosed from just being the Premier League champions of Ghana into more or less as a national duty. We have been very grateful for the kind of support, generous support, and support can come in so many forms that we have received from all and sundry within Ghana and outside this country. So we will still continue to call on Ghanaians to rally behind this team. But listen, we talk about all the things that the Alalis and the big guns have done. The only difference between us and them is about money. It's as simple as that. Because it is when you have money that you'll be able to attract top quality players. When you have money, that you'll be able to put up better facilities and infrastructure. You know, so it's really about money. Anything beyond that is just imaginative. It's really about money. It is the reason why we've been calling on corporate Ghana to come to our aid, because we made 2 trips to Conakry and Ikene in Nigeria, and we had to, you know, fork out in the right word about $300,000. You know, that's quite a hit. Now we are going to North Africa 2 times. Algeria and Egypt and Tanzania. It is going to come with a lot of costs: air tickets, accommodation, feeding, per diem for players to get them in shape, you know, real motivated to go and excel for themselves, die for the country, die for their supporters, improve their own career, you know, and set a better career path for themselves. So it's really about money. If we are able to get the support, the financial injection into this team, I am confident that people will be surprised of the outcome of Group D.
Well, you make much statement about finance, money and all that, but people will argue that you are in the money zone.
But we're in the money zone. But that money is not enough to play 6 matches.
700,000
yes,
is not enough.
It cannot be. No, it can never be enough to play 6 matches.
People are saying that,
you are playing today
that is 26 times the amount of money you got.
Well, I'm not. Yes, but
from winning the Ghana Premier League.
Yes, but we are not. That is for the Ghana Premier League. We are playing the CAF Champions League. I mean, there are two different things. So I can understand, all the equations and all the dynamics of the fact that, I mean, the whole idea is about the fact that the amount given for the Ghana Premier League is not quite much.
Or the Ghana Premier League because you make
prize money.
Trips.
So the point is that $700,000, the money is not coming to you readily. It's you will get it at some point, and don't forget it involves a lot: television, disciplinary issues, crowd invasion, supporters. So we need to really shepherd and guard the money to ensure that we make as much as possible from it. But $700,000 to play in 6 matches in CAF Champions League is woefully inadequate for it. It is not. No, but you may never make a trip to Conakry and Remo, Nigeria, and spend $300,000.
Wow.
And we are going to 3 countries.
How are you financing it?
So we are going to 3 countries. We are going to Tanzania, we are going to Algeria, we are going to Egypt, and we'll be playing at home. When you play at home, you incur a lot of cost as well. It's not as if you are playing at home, so you don't incur any cost at all. You incur a substantial amount of cost when you are playing at home. So I'm saying that yes, it's a good cushion. It will help. But obviously, if 2 games, you spend $300,000 and you're going to play 6 games, do the mathematics.
So what do you think will be the solution? To get, because we know maybe the GFA is supporting
the only solution is for corporate Ghana and the government of Ghana to come and support. I mean, we are very grateful. We are grateful to the president. He promised us 1 million Ghana cedis. We are still using the diplomatic mode of communication to ensure that we get it from the government. We are confident about it, that the money will be delivered to us in no time. Very grateful to the president for that support and for that pledge. We are hopeful that it will come in really rapid and fast. Like I said, and like what my bosses have enumerated, right from the decision of Goldfields to pull a stop, or their inability to offer her support in Africa, and all the issues that have arisen out of it, we will need the collective support of corporate Ghana. It's the reason why we are very happy that Nkommo Wo Mining Limited have quickly stepped in, giving us $300,000 for a year. We are hopeful that this partnership will continue to grow in leaps and bounds, and perhaps if we excel, we do well in the group stages as well, we may be able to get more companies coming on board. We will continue to appeal to the mining companies, because Medeama is based in Takwa, a predominantly mining community in Ghana. We will continue to appeal to the mining communities, in particular to the banks, to come and support, to come and partner this club, because this is a club with a huge potential. This is a club which has been the most successful club in Ghana in the last 10 years, winning 2 FA Cup, winning 2 Super Cup, going to the Champions, to the CAF Confederations Cup on 2 occasions, one of which was in the group stage, winning the Ghana Premier League, and now in the group stage of the CAF Champions League for the first time for any Ghanaian club in an astonishing 11 years. This is the most successful Ghanaian club in the last 10 years, Medeama Club. So any company that is associating with a top brand, a huge brand, an emerging brand, which is now beginning to, get clout within the African folklore, and we are excited about it. This is Takwa, this is Medeama. We want to take African and Ghanaian football by storm. We did that in 2014, we did that in 2016, and we want to do that again in 2023.
Well, that's Patrick Akoto in his elements. You can't stop him whenever he's talking. But we're taking a short break. When we return, we'll talk more about Medeama, the meaning of Medeama. A lot of people don't know the new T&A Stadium that they are building. They'll also look at how Medeama were able to come from a team that was struggling last season in the Premier League all the way to win the Ghana Premier League. Well, stick and stay. You're still watching Sports Check. We're taking a short break. We'll be back after this. Visit www.GhanaWebExcellenceAwards.com and click Nominations bar, or click the Nominations banner on www.GhanaWeb.com. Provide your personal details by entering your first and last names. Fill in your contact details, that is, phone number and email address. Select the appropriate category out of 17 options for your nominee. Provide the personal details of your nominee. Provide at least one or more social handles of your nominee. Tell us why she qualifies for the selected category and then proceed. You receive a pop-up with "Would you like to make another nomination?" If yes, click yes and go through the same process of nominating another woman. If no, click no and you are done nominating your nominee.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh.
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back from the break. My name is Joseph Adamafio. You're still watching Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV, and I'm here with Patrick Akoto of Medeama, and we are talking about their performance in the CAF Champions League. They are currently in the group stages, what you call the money zone, but he's saying that the money is not enough. So I'm looking at how Medeama can be able to make more money. In Ghana, we don't often sell club paraphernalia, jerseys, and all. Even stadium attendance has even reduced. How do you think?
Well, it's really been, engineered and been resourced by largely from the pocket of the club owner, Moses Ama, and from his company, Mospaka Group of Companies. It's largely also from the support, the resources that have been put in by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Takwa Nswaim, the star boy of Takwa. He has been amazing. His personal involvement in this club, his commitment in this club, to this club, pulling all strings.
But how can you sell more?
Pulling all strings to ensure that we get the resources is what is propelling this club in the CAF Champions League. As for issues about paraphernalia and JCs,
stadium attendance.
Yes, it's Medeama, where we're operating from Nakon Community Park. The T&A had to go through reconstruction and all that. You don't get much from gate proceeds. Perhaps when we move to the 10,000 seater capacity T&A, the narrative may change. It's still dovetail into the conversation about club financing and the fact that at this moment we rely basically on the philanthropy of the club owner and individuals, as well as, of course, you get a very token from the club, the great proceeds. Sometimes if you're able to sell one or two players as well from player sales, you'll be able to get something to support. But to make an impact, and the kind of impact Ghanaians are expecting from us, we will need a lot of capital injection into the team, especially for the African campaign.
When Medeama was about to start their CAF Champions League campaign, you guys sold a number of your players. It raised a lot of eyebrows. Of course, you guys needed money, but did you envisage that with you guys letting go of some of your key players, you would come this far?
Well, we have a solid group. We have a talented pool of players to choose from. We've sold 9 players to Siren FC of Malta. That is an unprecedented transfer in the history of Ghana, or perhaps even globally. We will have to look at that as well again, where 9 players from one team moved to an European team at a go. I don't think that it has happened before. I think we may have to look into the Guinness Book of Record to see perhaps whether we have set a new record in global transfers. But having said that, we have talented players. Of course, players are always looking for opportunities to gazamp. Yeah. Players are always looking for opportunity to leapfrog others in a team. So when a player leaves, it's a big opportunity for another to also stake a claim for a position in the team. Atinga came, did brilliantly, rose through the ranks, become a key leader of the team. Unfortunately, we could not reach an agreement on the terms of the extension. He moved on. Kofi Asma has stepped in beautifully. There's Baba Musa Abdullahi. There's Richard Akrofi, who is also always on the bench. These are all players who can step up to the plate at any time. Kwesi has not been part of this team. He's been sold to Siren. He's going to be there for a year on a loan. He's playing so well for Siren.
You moved away from all these players. I mean, how? Like, Regent Tete Zuta.
No, Zuta not retired from football, but he has left. He has retired from Medeama. Okay. You know, he has not retired from football. Okay. Yes, not like he's retired completely from football. Yes, he's administrator of our club and a key official.
So you mean he can still play?
Well, if he wants to play, he has not told anybody that he has retired from football. He said he has retired, or he has called time. Let me put it this way: he has called time on his illustrious career in Takwa. It does not mean that he has called time on his entire career as well. You may never know. He may decide to move on at some point and play again, or decide to continue in the boardroom. But that is a decision for Joseph or Zuta to make. But he's been a great ambassador for our club. It's a shining example of boot and books. You know, he completed University of Cape Coast. He did statistics. Brilliant student as well. And he's doing well in the boardroom these days, working with myself and us in the boardroom. He's also a vice president of PFAG, you know, working, you know, and learning the ropes under the tutelage of the outstanding Mr. Tony Bafo and the team at PFAG.
But you guys sold 9 players. Now you have more players. In fact, you are getting more players in the national team. Jonathan Sowah has been a delight to watch.
Yes.
In fact, I've told a story on GhanaWeb about he being a player who used to play beach soccer. Now he's playing the Ghana Premier League and is currently in Africa and also doing wonders with Medeama. If another club comes to offer maybe more money for Jonathan Sowah, are you going to let him?
Well, Jonathan is a hot cake. I can tell you that we've received multiple offers from several clubs across the various continents. We want the best for the club and the player, most crucially for the player and the club as well. And so we are not in a rush to sell Jonathan Sowah. We are absolutely not in a rush. As and when we are convinced that the offer is right and the conditions are right, because it's not just about taking the money, it's about ensuring that the player plays at a club that can continue to enhance his progression. Talented player, top-notch striker, very focused, he has endurance, he's very strong. I think that he's wild Ghanaians, clearly. Yeah. And when we went to Guinea, he was a toast. Everybody was asking me about him and Felix Shea, for instance, and all that. So we are not in a hurry. But he's going to be a key member of this team as we soldier on in the CAF. I mean, let us complete the CAF, the Africa competition, and his value obviously was skyrockets.
Anytime a player comes from Medeama and heads into the national team, he does very well. We saw your left back, Hamid.
Yes, and thankfully Hamidu has been superb. He's the only one who got a call up for the friendly against Mexico and Nigeria. Chris appears to be very interested in Hamidu and Jonathan, and I am very happy for Hamidu. He's a calm player, very respectful young man, very disciplined, very disciplined. He talks less, he gets the job done. He's a brilliant chap, very talented, and I think that he's one that can compete as well. I mean, he can compete with those who have gotten the opportunity over the years when he's given the chance. And I am happy that he's been given the chance. He was given the chance in the game against Liberia. He electrified the atmosphere at the Accra Sports Stadium. You were there with me. We were there together. Yeah. You saw the telepathy. You saw the temerity. You saw the tenacity. You saw the quality of a left back. Very calm on the ball, well composed on the ball. And it was Medeama to Jordan and it was a goal.
What I want to know is Medeama going to be the hub where Ghana national team will always come for players?
It should not be far-fetched. It should not be far-fetched, indeed. At a particular point in time in our lives, Liberty professionals were dominating Ghanaian football from 17 to the top tier of Ghana football, which is the Black Stars, really. And they were dominating, and rightly so, because they had the quality. May his soul rest in peace. Alhaji Salai Tete, may his soul rest in peace. Such a great man he was. I mean, a man with vision, a man with foresight he was, a man with clear understanding of a career pathway for players.
That's where Medeama said into.
You know, and they did brilliantly. I mean, the list line was brilliant. I mean, they brought in, there was Asamoah Gyan, you know, my own Asamoah Gyan. At the time we were in school with Asamoah Gyan, but at Accra Academy, Asamoah Gyan was scoring for fun. Asamoah Gyan has always been a player who scores for fun. Right from our days in Accra Academy, we were carrying him shoulder high. He went to Liberty, and his career path had continued before he moved to Italy, to France. Eventually, he went to England in Sunderland. He made a huge impact within a short time. Within really a short time, he made a huge impact within a short time at Sunderland before he moved to the Gulf. There was Michael Essien as well. There are Joseph Pente. All these players. I'm just trying to elaborate the point to you.
I know, but let's talk about Medeama going to the USA. Give us a brief details about it. It's going to be huge.
Well, we have to be in Washington within next week, early next week, because the game is built to play at the Audi Stadium on the 14th of this month. We'll be there for a couple of days and then return and continue, because we have an outstanding league match, against Nations FC on the 19th. So we need to return to Ghana with alacrity when we are done with the game against DC United. It's a great feeling. I mean, the esprit de corps within the group has been amazing. It's a great feeling. It's been a great year for Medeama, let's admit. It's been a great year. We've virtually won every award in this country, right from the Ghana Football Awards to the GFA Awards, to every award. If there should be any organization that organizes any football awards, we are clear in our mind.
Now let's wrap up with the T&A Stadium.
Yes.
What is the latest update? When are we
well,
going
the
to
last
see
time I
it
checked,
open?
the last time the technocrats told us it's about 90% plus complete. At the time, they had tied the completion of the stadium to the maturity of the pitch, and that should have been completed somewhere in September. But of course, you are aware of the unfortunate incident that happened in Takwa. That so it led to the construction being stalled for almost 3 months or plus, and it's the reason why we are where we are. If not, the stadium should have been ready by now. But we remain confident. We are not the contractors. We are only making an appeal as a club and remain confident that they can speed up a bit so that we get the facility used. Because the biggest mileage you can ever get for the T&A Stadium is to play El Ali, the Belarus, young Africans in Takwa.
Now,
that is the highest and the biggest mileage you can get. But we are hopeful as a club. We can only remain hopeful that we'll be ready in time before December or by December.
What kind of facilities should we expect?
Have you seen the edifice? The T&A is the most beautiful stadium in Ghana today. It's a top-notch facility, high-grade facility, first-class facility.
So what are we going to get?
For the first time, for the first 10,000, for the first time in the history, for the first time, the good people of Takwa will not be worried about rains.
Okay.
Because all where the supporters are, the stands has been all roofed. Okay. It's been covered. The roof, the stands are all covered.
Air condition from the VIP.
I am saying, of course, it will blow.
Wi-Fi.
The air condition, everything that is required. Fantastic washroom. There were Wi-Fi for journalists. There are going to be pubs. There are going to be restaurants. There are going to be. This is a modern facility.
Are we going to have?
There is none like that in
commercial
this country.
department of the club?
Absolutely. This is a very professional club, well laid with the proper structure. This is a club on a solid foundation of professionalism, and we want to ensure that the T&A Stadium, I don't know how it will be, who it will be named after, whether we are going to maintain the T&A Stadium or it will be named after somebody, or those ones. I think the fine details will be left for the owners and the top brass to decide. But clearly, it's a good feeling in Takwa. Everybody in Takwa is looking forward to the opening of the facility.
Capacity.
10,000 we've said, and 10,000, and let's talk about that, but 10,000 is okay.
Now
they will all sit down, come to the park with their families, their wives, their girlfriends, their concubines.
Last question
yes.
before we know. For someone who doesn't know Medeama,
Yes.
tell us in 1 minute the meaning of Medeama, why it was,
Well,
how it was established.
Medeama means my brother. It's an Nzima word. Medeama means my brother. You know, it speaks to you about camaraderie. It speaks to you about closeness of the people, the team, the unity in the team. It's like a family. Medeama, my brother. We are my brother. We are like family. We look out for each other. We protect each other. We support each other. We encourage each other. That is what we do at Medeama. This is a club that was metamorphosed because the club president Moses Ama bought Kesben Football Club, which was a Premier League team. After we lost out on qualification to the Premier League, he was determined and desirous of bringing Premier League football to the good people of Takwa. Because Takwa is a predominant mining community. There are no major entertainment flags within the community, and football is always, as you know, serves as a massive economic invigorator. So he wanted to revive that, and that is why we bought it in 2000. So Medeama came to the picture around 2010, and from there, they say the rest is history. And look at our trajectory from 2013 to today, when we started winning the FA Cup, 2013 to 2023. This club is the most successful Ghanaian club. Because the metrics, the optics, the statistics, the science, the data prove to it that we are the most successful club in the last 10 years. And we hope to be in the next 10 years again.
Thank you very much.
Always a delight to speak with you, Daddy. Thank you.
So that is Patrick Akutu of Medeama, and that's how we wrap up here on Sports Check. My name is Joseph Adamafio. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.